We're live. Okay. Okay. We're good. We're live on YouTube. We're going live on Facebook. We good? We're good on Facebook? We're good. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about crushing Apple for huge profits. The first upgrade in Apple with a price dollar upgrade in a very long time. How we took advantage of it and how you could take advantage of it as well. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. I have so many great things to show you, some big earnings names as well. We're going to actually I broke down charts for you guys, how you could apply these strategies and take advantage of a little known company known as Apple, and why this big upgrade came in and what you need to do to prepare this week for all the other things coming in. And I'm going to teach you that. But before I teach you that, I need you to not only watch this, but I also need you to agree that you're personally holding me and T3 Live harmless and not responsible for anything you might hear, see, read, think, listen to, dream about in regards to this video. If you do not agree to that, kindly exit this video immediately. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. So it all started this morning for us where we finally had an Apple upgrade with a conviction name that was over 3 out of 10. This has been a very low conviction environment. And if you don't know me, 4 on the 1 to 10 scale is actually the only way a name can actually hit my list. And so we're watching it this morning. We have a number of names, and Apple obviously the highest conviction one, so we focused on that. And what does that really mean? It's kind of funny when traders come out and they tell you like we focused on it. Well, what does that mean? I mean, a lot of times when traders tell you that, it ends up being a very vague scenario where people will do whatever they want with the stock. There's no sense of organization. There's nobody who's really, everybody's sort of doing their own thing. But the reason why, you know, I would say I would guesstimate about 95% or more of the people who traded Apple today made money with us is because of how we break things down. So I broke it down into simple charts, but not only are these the charts are as important as what you need to prepare for. So before I show you the charts, just keep in mind that Apple had a price target upgrade for the first time, and we're talking about it in the pre-market, of course. Apple got a $210 target from 180 over at Bank of America Merrill. We followed the analyst. This was huge for us, and it was our favorite name of the day, and hence how we crushed it. So when I say, we crushed Apple today, and a lot of us made big money on it, more important than the money, I feel, is understanding the trade and how you could catch these trades tomorrow. But let's go ahead and just take it right over to the chart. So here's a 1 minute chart of Apple. And I label this as one and done buy because the one and done is a strategy that we invented here in the Newsbeat live room to take advantage of higher conviction ideas. A 4 on the 1 to 10 is a higher conviction idea for us. We actually break down our conviction structure. I don't rate a lot of things a 7, 8, 9, and 10. In fact, I have never rated anything a 10 on my 1 to 10 scale. Conviction is something that has to be earned. So what we did here is you literally buy through the top of the 1 minute candle. And we did it in real time. Not only that, we're talking about it in the pre-market. We're like, guys, if you're taking stock, you're taking stock. I'm buying 177 and a half calls expiring this week. Picked them up at around a buck, maybe a little more than a buck, and they exploded. I mean, they were trading well over $2 at one point, 240, 250, I believe, at one point. But let's talk about it. The beautiful thing about Apple is you can take as much size as humanly possible. You can take as much size in Apple as you want, even with small accounts. If I showed you the number of emails today that came in, one email that I just found good, I'll just quickly want to read it. One email came in. Mark, thank you so much for Apple today. I have a $15,000 account and was able to make $3,500. I was waiting for a while for this conviction idea. All I did was the one and done and the high one strategy. I went ahead and I missed. Okay, okay, so he missed the exponential eight, the know your limit strategy on the exponential eight. I think that was hard to catch, and I noted it as such in this video. Then he caught the 21, and I'm going to explain what that means so it doesn't sound like gibberish. So the one and done strategy simply means, and again, there's a whole video on this. You simply buy through the top of the first 1 minute bar on a news name. You don't apply it to every single stock you're trading. You have to apply it to names that we're trading, and you'll have an extremely phenomenally high hit rate. On Newsbeat live names, it's over 80% effective in terms of names that we give a conviction level of 4 or more in particular. So we bought through here and the stock went up, 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 digested, up, digested, up, and just kept running throughout the day. The high one strategy, this little yellow line you see here, is an exponential 8 moving average on a 1 minute chart. And basically what we do here is when you flush the exponential 8, we buy. And you could either buy or you could wait for the next 1 minute bar to break out, which is called a high one strategy. So again, we purchased it here and watched Apple grind up even higher. It was a really magnificent trade. Then, for those who don't like trading on the 1 minute, there were two entries here. The know your limits buy entry. This is a 5 minute chart this time around, and here's the exponential 8. And the know your limits tries to buy it as the exponential 8 hits. So you're buying it at the bottom of this green bar, not at the top, at the bottom, and it gives you just a really powerful move up. This was the know your limit strategy. You would have been buying it underneath this blue line here. Now you might look and say, oh, well, Apple went against you before it went with you. Just to put things into perspective with you and Apple didn't really go against you there. And I just want to show you of what kind of pain threshold you were dealing with. So let's say you even bought it right here at 67 cents. Apple got as low as 45 cents. We're talking a 22-cent move in Apple against you after it went 20 cents with you. I mean, 22-cent move in Apple is not a big move to go against you in Apple. Afterwards, of course, the stock rallied to 179.12 and gave you a much larger move to the upside, as you can see. And these were two very effective strategies. The beautiful thing about this is it happened after 2 o'clock. Not a lot of traders make money, believe it or not, after 2 o'clock. In this environment, most traders are making their money in the morning. So with that being said, there were just 4 really effective strategies that you could have taken advantage of in Apple. And of course, there's a member of our room, which I'm just going to talk about. He went to the trading expo in New York City, and he said Nigerian, the ponytail and mustache guy, spoke in detail and basically said he said that Tim Cook is a genius and Apple's going to do great. And then I realized him saying Tim Cook is a genius and Apple's doing great sounded a little bit, just a little bit, when he said Apple's going to be fine and Tim Cook is a genius. Sounds a little bit like me on January 2nd. So I'm just pulling up the link to the video here. Some chat thing. And it basically, here's me on January 2nd on Newsbeat Show 247 with the title, Tim Cook is a genius, Apple's down huge, but it is a buying opportunity. And obviously that was a very effective call. We actually called it on January 2nd after hours, as we do the Newsbeat Show after hours, and it opened up down the next day. And that was the whole point, that I did it intentionally because Apple was down massively after hours. And I was explaining why Tim Cook was a genius for bashing the iPhone sales ahead of time, because he took away all negative overhang with an Apple, which was obviously, in hindsight, now that you see it, an absolutely brilliant move. Obviously, I made a lot of money on this Apple move, but I, I didn't make this much money on that Apple long. But with that being said, I need you guys to realize that you have to take note for the analyst upgrades tomorrow because what's happening for the first time in a long time is the analysts are coming out and they're actually upgrading names. I don't mean upgrading names like we upgrade from buy to hold, but we're keeping the same target. I'm saying upgrades with substance behind it, upgrades that they're increasing price targets. Simple fly in the wall service. You have the Bank of America Merrill upgrade right here. Might be hard to see, but that's what I highlighted is a $210 target from 180. So they're raising the targets. There was another one out of Nomura Instinet, another upgrade on Facebook today. And there are people who actually did the one and done on Facebook, and they came out ahead as well. They upgraded to Facebook to a $215 target from 172. So it's very important to take note of these things because what you're going to see most likely tomorrow, I could just short of guarantee you, is look for analysts taking names that they were afraid to upgrade before, and they're coming out for the first time and upgrading it. And I'm going to explain to you right now the psychology and why these names are going to work tomorrow. Just hear me out. I mean, besides that, I'm a cheater and I do have a time travel machine. Besides for that fact, hear me out on this one. So, right now, most traders are looking and they're like, oh my God, I missed this move in the market. This market just kept ripping up, ripping up, ripping up. Here's a weekly of the Qs. It's so hard to buy something. I don't know what to buy. It's so difficult. What do I do? Let me see which captain late to the party is going to come out. Oh, there's an Apple upgrade. Oh, oh, I get it. After Apple jumps up 30% off the lows, now you're upgrading it. And that's fine. And I'm telling you, even though it feels like, God, it feels like such a chase. And that's what everyone told me too. Um, I speak to traders who make far more money than lots of people. Some of them are making 8 to 9 figures a year. It's insane. The type of money these traders are making. And when they asked me what I liked and they heard that I liked Apple, they were like, Apple has moved up so much, Mark. Why would you buy Apple? And I explained to them in the pre-market, I said, look, guys, uh, Apple traders are looking to get behind something that analysts like. The whole market moved up. All the analysts were zipper lipped. They all had their lips zipped. They were refusing to put higher price targets on anything. So, what you're going to see tomorrow, and I guarantee you this, besides the fact that I'm a cheater and I went into the future with my time travel machine, I guarantee you you're going to see upgrades on just random big names. I'm not saying it could be Apple, it could be Facebook. Again, I mean Apple and Facebook were upgraded today for the first time with a higher price target in months. Months. Traders are craving these upgrades right now. So as soon as you see something upgraded tomorrow morning and it's gapped up with elevated volume based on this upgrade, you're going to be able to apply my algorithmic strategies, my one and done, my high one, your know your limit strategy, even a 821 curl strategy, which I haven't been doing a lot lately, but it actually worked. It's been working across the board. Um, it's been working across the board. Did you know the 821 curl worked on Apple today? Would have gotten you long at 178. Actually, would have hit right at the end of the day and then bounced 20 cents, but right at 3:55 to 4 o'clock. But the 821 curl strategy has been working beautifully today. It even worked on Facebook for a quick scalp. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you could make money on these upgraded names. And the beautiful thing about the Newsbeat Live Room is that we apply algorithmic strategies that work in this market. Now, algorithmic strategies sound more complex than they need to be. An algorithmic strategy we use is the one and done because we're not moving Facebook. You're not moving Facebook. The Newsbeat Live Room, as honored as I would be, as large as we are not moving Apple. The Newsbeat Live Room is not the reason why Apple went up today. Let's put it that way. So, like even on a Facebook, like an algorithmic strategy, and it sounds fancier than it needs to be. It's just simply buying through the 1 minute top. And there are people in the room who are like, yeah, I bought Facebook through the top of the 1 minute bar today because it was on your list for a long, because it was upgraded. Then there are people who did the high one in Facebook today, where they waited for the exponential 8 to break through, and then they bought on the first breakout on the 1 minute, and they crushed it. How funny is that? And then they waited right over here, and they waited right over here, and they caught even more on Facebook. The bottom line is when you see these algorithmic strategies, if you're in the Newsbeat live room, you wouldn't even understand that they were algorithmic strategies. It would sound like this. Guys, I'm watching Apple. I'm going to buy Apple if it hits this level. If Apple hits 60 cents here, I'm going to buy it. And it's 80 cents, 70 cents, 60 cents, goes down to 52 cents, goes up to 55 cents. Okay, guys, I'm here. You could just see exactly where I bought it in the options. I mean, you see the price, you see the print. I mean, the amount of you know what it is? There's a difference between I feel transparency, where a broadcaster will say, I'm long 1,000 shares of XYZ at $50. And there's a difference when a broadcaster is saying, I'm trying to buy XYZ at $50, but it's at $50 50 cents. 50 30, 50 20, 50 30, 50 20, 50 10, 50 20, 50 10, 50 49.95. Okay, guys, I bought XYZ. So what I try to do is I will always give you a heads up. Like this morning, why so many of you caught apples, because not only was it my favorite name, but I was spelling it out every step of the way. I was like, okay, if Apple breaks this level, I'm going to buy it, guys. You already knew. I chased Apple through day highs today. I chased Apple through day highs today on a 1 minute chart, and it worked phenomenally successfully for me. There were several traders with 5 figure days today, thanks to this move in Apple. Doesn't seem like a lot, but with Apple, again, the size you could take is infinite. And I bought it right through the high of the day here, and it kept making day highs, day highs, day highs as it climbed up. Not only that, we were trading a lot of the smaller cap names today. We made a couple good calls in them as well. I'm going to give you guys one on your list right now. Here is a stock that I don't know when it's going to move, but I would say between tomorrow and a month, this stock Drop Car, it's been all over social media today. A lot of people were talking about it with the Lyft IPO. What I like about it is it did a reverse split recently, and they're looking for strategic alternatives. They're looking for strategic alternatives in the company. And when they do something like that, a lot of times, like a couple weeks later, you'll get like a very like large move. So if Drop Car drops tomorrow, I'll probably buy it. Another big mover was Stitch Fix. I'm going to go over the earnings as it was one of my favorite stocks. I am obviously in a very heavy position in it. As you guys are aware of for a while now, I've been watching my P&L move up, 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 down, 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 up, 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 down. But I've always been positive overall because I bought it by IPO day. But with this big move here, Stitch Fix is up massively after hours. I thought I would go over the earnings with you guys. They beat on expectations, 388 to 398 million. Versus the 384 million expected. So they beat future expectations. Their current earnings, 12 cents versus the 5 expected. They had revenues of 370.3 million versus 364.89. And they see their fiscal year 19 revenue 1.53 billion to 1.56 versus the 1.51 expected. This is a completely justified move in Stitch Fix. And in terms of the trigger, here's a big level for you guys to watch. I want you to watch $35. I want you to watch $35 tomorrow. That is an A plus trigger. There's a mathematical formula that I have written. I'm not going to go into what an A plus trigger is now today, but I will tell you this. At the exact moment you hit 35, you're going to have massive volume. And it's not just massive because it's a whole number. It's going to be massive because it's an A plus trigger into a gap fill here that could get to $43. And I am just praying that Stitch Fix does not open up over $35 tomorrow. They really outdid themselves on earnings, and this is completely justified. I just want to mention that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Boeing. I see them down 50 cents after hours. That doesn't mean anything to me. The Boeing news to me was overblown completely. I said it in the pre-market today. It's not one that I traded long. I mean, I obviously in hindsight could have. I was making my money in Apple mostly and other names, but this Boeing with the whole Ethiopian tragedy, completely overblown. I hate to say it, but Boeing is not going to have issues selling planes, in my humble, honest opinion. We have algorithmic levels for tomorrow. I figured since I have a time travel machine, I might as well write the support and resistance levels for tomorrow. Here are tomorrow's algo levels. They don't always hit, but when support hits, you usually have a buy with a very good risk reward. Generally, I approach it as a scalp. Some traders approach it longer for a bit longer. I like it scalping off these levels. Resistance usually sets me up for a great short opportunity. These levels don't always hit, but when and if they do, they tend to present great opportunity. And that's pretty much it. And you can actually follow us. I mean, and you could hear us call all these trades out in real time. For just $49, you can experience a month of the Newsbeat Live Room. You can experience traders calling out highly consistent, low psychologically toxic trades in real time, trying to help set you up before they even happen. You could be part of that for just $49 a month. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why Newsbeat Live Room is the largest, fastest growing trading room in the nation. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.